Hello YouTube, Sidekick here, and welcome to another installment of the Iron Bomber's Guide to the DCS Galaxy, and our continuing series on the last of the Iron Bombers. In this case, we're still talking about the AV-8B Harrier. Today we have something a little bit different. Today we're going to do an historical reenactment that I call The Last Iron Bomber Goes to War. And that's because it's a reenactment of the very first combat mission flown by Harriers during Desert Storm. So first we're just going to take a quick look at Desert Shield and Desert Storm and what the Harrier did in that campaign. And then we're going to do the reenactment of the very first AV-8B combat mission. So let's get started. On the 2nd of August 1990, Iraqi forces invaded Kuwait. The invasion was widely condemned, and the U.S. and the U.K. deployed forces to Saudi Arabia almost immediately and invited other nations to join a coalition to oppose Iraq. U.S. forces began deploying to Iraq on the 8th of August, and the initial objective was to protect Saudi Arabia from an expected attack from Iraq. The operation was called Desert Shield. By the end of August, the first U.S. Marines had arrived in Saudi Arabia, and with them their air combat element that included Harriers from VMA 311 and VMA 542. Desert Shield lasted until 17 January, when the final coalition ultimatum to Iraq to leave Kuwait expired, and in the early hours of the 17th of January, Desert Storm began, with a massive series of airstrikes. The initial phase of the attack was designed to disrupt and decapitate Iraqi command and control systems, and to disable the integrated air defense system. And after that, the air campaign shifted, disrupting and degrading the capabilities of the Iraqi ground forces in Kuwait prior to an invasion of Kuwait by coalition ground forces. The first Harriers arrived in theater on the 25th of August. After 3 days in Bahrain, the Harriers deployed to their forward base at King Abdul Aziz Naval Base. One of the pilots remembered, quote, "When we landed here, there was nothing. We had a beat-up asphalt strip, a soccer stadium with almost no shelter. The maintenance people started working out of boxes, and there was no hangar space." Unquote. This was from a book by Lon Nordine called AV-8B Harrier II Units of Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. During Desert Storm, the Harriers were tasked with supporting the Marines on the ground directly. The commander of the Marine Expeditionary Force had retained direct operational control of the Harriers for the duration of Desert Storm. It was clear that what priority would be given to close air support missions. If there were Marines in contact with the enemy, there would be Harriers overhead. When there were no troops in contact with the enemy, the Harriers would be free to perform battlefield air interdiction missions, which would basically be focused on writing down the combat power of the units facing the Marines and Allied forces in the section of the front closest to the coast. Priority targets would include particularly Iraqi artillery, Iraqi rocket troops, and armor if they could be spotted. It was assumed that the tactical environment would be one where there were active point defenses like some AAA and in particular IR SAMs, but it was assumed that the Navy and the Air Force would take out the radar-guided SAMs, and so operating at altitude would not be a problem. But it was a problem when the 17th of January dawned with a full overcast sky and a ceiling at around 8,000 feet. This is something that hadn't been seen during the entirety of Desert Shield. Because of the weather, the Harrier units scrubbed their pre-planned missions, but they remained on standby to support the Marines as they moved forward to take up positions along the border with Kuwait. And that's where we'll pick up the story in DCS as we reenact the very first combat mission that Harriers flew in Desert Storm. It's the 17th of January 1991 at the King Abdul Aziz Naval Air Base in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's the first day of Desert Storm. The airbase is the home to the Harrier strike force. Coalition airstrikes have been ongoing all day, but so far the Harriers haven't been involved because of the weather. There are low ceilings at about 8,000 feet and 10/10 cloud. But now the Harriers receive word that an artillery battery is shelling the U.S. Marines in Kafka. And so 2 Harriers, led by Lieutenant Colonel Corey Branch and armed with Mark 83 bombs, launch out of King Abdulaziz Air Base for the short 10-minute flight to the front. Once they get closer to the target, the Harriers, callsign Bloodhound, will contact the forward air controller, callsign Gremlin, in an OV-10 to direct them onto the target. They'll start their attacks from a safe altitude above the clouds, so after a short flight below the clouds, callsign Bloodhound is about to go upstairs and contact callsign Gremlin. Then the Harriers are about to go to war. Gremlin, this is Bloodhound. We have 2 AV-88Bs with 4 Mark 83 bombs and about 30 minutes to play. I hear that you have our invitation to this party.
Bloodhound, this is Gremlin. That is affirmed. Welcome to the war. I have a little mortar battery with your name on it. Let me know when you're ready to copy.
Bloodhound, send over.
Gremlin, suggest you ingress from feet wet and approach from 345 to 015 degrees. Target is 120mm mortar battery with 5 tubes and supporting vehicles. Target location is north 271117, east 0560942. Target is marked with white smoke. There are no friendlies in the area. Suggest egress on attack heading, then left turn 180.
Bloodhound, roger. Target location north 271117, east 0560942. How safe is the neighborhood, over?
Gremlin, good copy. No active threats in the area, so long as you ingress from the south and turn left on egress. The Navy had a word with the neighbors this morning, and they are keeping a low profile.
Bloodhound, roger. Well, the Navy can have that effect on people. We're about 15 nautical miles out. We'll call you when we're inbound. Out. Okay, looks like we're all set up and fenced in. We've got the target in the computer, and we've got it set as the current waypoint. We've got the bomb set to a ripple singles in pairs, and with about 30 meters between them, hopefully given the size of the normal Iraqi artillery battery, that'll work. And it looks like we're just about due south of the target, so we're turning in. Gremlin, this is Bloodhound. We are inbound from the south at 10 nautical miles. Descending through the clouds now. Out. Okay, there's the target. Let's get the DMT on, take a look. Okay, that's more the center of the target. Let's, I think we can get more tubes if we move over a little bit over here. That looks good. Lined up on the target, get into air-to-ground mode, pull up a little bit so we can retain height. I want to come at this at about a 20-degree dive, I think. That's looking good. See the white smoke, so I guess we got the right target. And just about time to dive in. We can actually see the artillery firing there, so hopefully this is going to do some good. And I think we can take about a 20-degree dive right around there. Stay lined up. And pickle and hold. And there go the bombs with a little bit of lurch when we drop that first Mark 83.
Good hits, good hits. Looked like he got 3 tubes on that run.
Alright, that's one pass. Let's pull around and go back down to the south. Gain some altitude again, and we'll have another run. Gremlin, this is Bloodhound. We still have ordnance on board, so we're going to go south, turn around, and come in for another run. Out. Alright, let's get back up through the clouds here. No sign on the radar warning of anything that we should be concerned about. So we can stay nice and high. Just going to go far enough south that we can come back in, line up, and then when we get the target on the DMT there, we'll be able to pick a different part of the target. Still nothing to be concerned about. And almost time to start turning around here. Alright, pulling around. We'll just wait until we've got the target nearly due north of us again, and then we'll pull in, drop down, pick up the target, adjust our aiming point, and hopefully have another good drop. Alright, just passing 30 degrees to the target right now. We're coming up on 90, so we're going to roll out here and just fly a beam the target until we get it about north. Okay, there's 10 degrees. And let's turn it. Okay, once again, pull around to the target here. Gremlin, this is Bloodhound. We are inbound from the south. Out. Here it comes. It's got its nose on. We'll go down through the clouds. And wait there. Okay, got it on the DMT now. Yeah, we'll move back to about where we were before. See if we can get that one tube plus the command post. That's what it looks like there. Let's adjust our aim a little bit. Select the target. And we're on. Okay, let's pull level again. And wait until we're a little closer to the target so we can get that 20 degree or so dive. Target mark's looking good. Even in those revetments, the Mark 83s were able to take out those mortars on the last one. So we'll aim for the back of the revetments again here. Down to about 20. Hold it there, nice and easy. And pickle and hold. And there we go.
Good hits. That took out one mortar tube and the CP.
Gremlin, this is Bloodhound. We are off, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks for coming out to play.
Bloodhound, this is Gremlin. Good hits all around. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. Gremlin out.
Alright folks, Sidekick here. Hope you enjoyed that reenactment of the very first Harrier attack during Desert Storm. My apologies to any of the people who were really involved for all of the liberties we had to take to make it work in DCS. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. But for now, this is going to be Sidekick, signing off.